I was at a pond and I saw some dragonflies. They're really one of my favorite creatures, and I put it in slow motion so you can see them fly. They look like they're flopping around, but to me they look like little helicopters. And they sweep through, and one lit on this rock right here and then flew away. So there they are. They're like a black and white and sepia kind of color, and this is a still shot of that video, and then I put it into AI to make it a little clearer so that hopefully we can do a teaching off of it. What I want you to notice is that it is on angles like this. There's a line that goes diagonally, and then there are 4 other lines that come off. This under here is the light shining through the wings. It's translucent, so you can see a little bit of that wing underneath. And here you can see a little bit of the wing underneath. It's a little bit of a different shape because the light is coming in this way. I know the light is coming in this way because I can see that the wing's shadow kicks out this way. So I can tell the direction of the light. So there's really very few tones here. It's almost a monochromatic image. Actually, I could probably say it is a monochromatic image. So what I'm going to do is just show you how to break this down, and we're going to draw a dragonfly today. Now the body is on a diagonal, like I said, and it goes in this direction here. And what I can do is I can take my pencil and I can measure the body from the tip of the head to the tip of the tail, and that's how long it is. Now, if I look at this one wing, I can see that this one wing is about this long, and that's just a little bit longer than the length, than half of the length of the body. And this other wing here, if I go from the tip of my eraser to where it connects to the body, I'll put my finger there. I can see that is about 2/3 of the length of the body. So that'll give me a good idea of where to begin. Now, I'm going to say the wings are about 2/3 on both sides. So this is the length of the body right here. If you can see that line, I'll put it in a little bit darker right here, from the tip of the nose to the tip of the tail. And I'll know that it's about 2/3 as long. So the wings are going to be about, I've got to allow for the space of the body. The wings are going to be about that long. So they're actually quite long. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to draw the body. Now the body has a circle oval shape for the head, and it appears to have a couple of more circles. These appear to be about the same size. So if I make the head about that big, I could make 3 more circles about the same size. And then the rest of it would be coming out and tapering to the end. So I can go from the end of that circle and just taper it to the end. Now, if you're trying to draw a straight line, if you take your pencil and just work it back and forth without touching, when you get so you have a straight line, you can lower the tip of your pencil. And the same on the other side. And then lower it when you see that you've got the kind of straightness that you want. So then what we need to do is add a couple of circles for the eyes. I changed the grip on my pencil because these are little circles and it's easy for me to do small, as if I'm making 2 zeros or 2 circles to write with. So there I have the basic bones of the body. Now I'm going to look at this dragonfly. The one angle of the body is in this direction, like it is here. Now the wing, I'll do these back wings first, and we decided they're about 2/3 the length of this body. So the angle in comparison of this line right here, the angle of the body is like this. So what I'll do is, if I think of this whole thing as a clock, and in the center is where the hands hook together, this head is about pointing at maybe 11 o'clock, maybe 10:30. So that's the angle, and this would be about 25 after. So if I were to make a clock here and I had 12 o'clock here and 6 o'clock here, 3 o'clock here, 2 o'clock there, I'd say it's probably 10 to 10:30 where that goes in. And this is probably between 20 and 25 after. So then this particular wing right here, if I'm looking at the clock, this is at about 1 o'clock, 1:30 if I was to point it. And it's going to come off of this. It's going to come off of this circle right here. Below here is where it's actually looks like it's going to come off of this circle if I look at the center. If I look at the beginning, it's going to come off of the end of this circle. So I'll think about it as the center. It's going to come off of that bottom circle. So it's going to come off of that center, and it's going to point to about 2 o'clock, like that. I'm just going to put in the directions of the wings, and then I'll do the measurements of 2/3. This other one, the center, is actually in the body and the lower part of the tail, I should say. And it's segmented 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with the tip. So if I were to take this and divide it into thirds, and I could segment each third into a third, that would give me 9. I'm almost losing sight of it. Okay, so this is going to come off of this segment right here where the first and second segment come together. So it's right about here is where this line's going to come off, and that is going to be at probably 2:30, like this. Let your lines stretch out and across, it's okay. And now these wings are going to be at, it's almost 9 o'clock, I'd say 8. So they're going to be about here, or this is going to be about here, and it's going to come off exactly opposite of this wing because they are symmetrical pairs. And this other wing, I could just line it up instead of worrying about the clock face. I could just line it up straight across from it. The other wing comes right across. So there, this is a lot like how we did the deer, and we just established the legs. I'm not going to worry about the translucent shadow yet. I just want to get the basic drawing down. So I'm going to divide this up into ovals. I can see this wing has a larger oval here and a smaller one, and this larger oval goes about 2/3 of the way up, and then the other oval finishes off the tip. So I decided that the wings are about 2/3 of the length. So don't be afraid to err on the side of a little longer for a dragonfly, because their wings are usually quite long. So you won't be wrong if you err on the side of too long. These bottom wings actually come out of the side of the body. The ones that are at the bottom, the ones at the top appear to be coming out of the lower side because it's tilted just a little bit. So I'm going to start my measurement there, and 2/3, I'll use this as a measurement and then send it from that line up there to down here, and just a little bit off of that, a little bit. If it's a little bit off of that, it's not a problem. And then this is about, I'd say about this long. And I may even do more adjusting as I go along. So we decided that this oval, it's kind of wide also. It is about from the, you see the first segment, it's almost like, here's the first segment, the head, second segment, third segment. It's like a snowman. It's almost to the bottom of the snowman, a little bit higher. I mean, the bottom of the snowman's belly, a little higher. And then it goes to the bottom of the snowman. That's how wide it is. It's overlapped. Okay, right here is overlapped. So let's see. I'm going to make this oval. I decided it was going to be from the middle of its belly, not the middle, a little low on its belly, to almost the bottom of this part right here. So that's about how wide it is, and it's going to be about 2/3 of the way up this larger oval. That's about where it's going to be, right there. And then the smaller oval, this smaller oval kind of tilts just a little bit. So I'm going to make this oval kind of point a little bit in this direction. One thing about this dragonfly is I thought that it seemed to be a little bulkier than a lot of dragonflies I see. And I was surprised that there weren't a lot of iridescent colors in it. It was more of like a woodsy looking dragonfly. I should look up what kind of dragonfly it is, but I've seen so many different colors and brilliant bright colors. And this one is more simple, but it still was so beautiful. So then this one actually crosses right here, this side. And I'm going to do the same kind of thing where the one part of the oval is about 2/3 of the way up. And it comes down to where it touches, comes down to almost the third segment. 1, 2, 3, almost to the bottom of that third segment. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. That's quite large. 1, 2, to the middle of that third segment, right about here. That seems really extraordinarily large. Maybe I measured that wrong. Starting at the bottom, middle of the snowman, 1, 2, 3. I see what it is. I'm seeing the shadow. This is where I have to really look. It actually comes to the bottom of the second one. It's right here. That's the trick with it being translucent. I'm going to have to take it back a little bit. That's the shadow that I'm seeing. So it comes to the bottom of this one right here. So that's the other oval. And the tip goes on here. Still, to me, looks rather wide. And I may even take artistic license and make these just a little bit longer because I just feel like they need to be. Don't be afraid to take artistic license. It's something that is your God-given right. You could change things any way you want. So let me just take this and make it maybe a little straighter. I don't know. And you have an eraser, I hope. If you don't, then ignore that line and just draw your other lines darker. So this side is quite similar. This oval right here appears to be more narrow. Let me look at it. Looking at it, trying to ignore the overlap, and it's still a little bit wider because there is that overlap, which is here. It's hard to see it. And it looks like these wings are a little bit further apart, but it is overlapping right up in here. So let's just get it. The oval's going to start up here, and it's going to go about 2/3 of the way, and I'm putting in this oval, and then the tip is here, and it's a little bit of a different shape. It's not as pointed, and I think it's because you're getting a little bit of foreshortening there. And let's see how wide this particular one is. This wing is also down to this second segment, and I'm going to do about 2/3 of the way up I've got to make sure that it overlaps on the body, so I'm going to make sure that this one overlaps on the body right here. I was thinking about painting this for you, but maybe what would be better would be just to use what we've got today. Now I'm going to add the little legs. It looks like it just about encompasses the face. It wraps around the face. You can see it kind of curve and hook. So it's going to start in from the body, and it's going to come toward the same direction as the wing, and then it's going to kind of tip out. It's like a little zigzag. And then there's another one that you can't really see because of the wing. So I may enlarge it a little bit and I can see it a little greater. I love the fuzzy there. That'll give us some good texture to work with. So let's go ahead and start. We've got our basics that we usually do. We usually just do shapes, and then we go in and I talk about the contour line, the line that goes around it. And this is the line that's going around it. It's not always this structured and stiff, but as you draw more, you're going to get looser and you won't need as many of these shapes. This is where you'll be able to get in and just do your basic contour lines and not worry so much about getting all the basic shapes. The shapes are just to help you so that you can see the basic structure. Now, I'm just going to come in and make this body look like it's one piece. And the wing is here. I don't like how that is. I'm going to come in and cut that in a little bit. And the other wing is here. And I can see this other leg actually comes up into the dragonfly itself. So I've thickened the legs, and this other leg I can barely see. It's just like this. So there's the basic of it. Now I'm going to wait on adding the textures. Let's get the basic drawing on. Now I'm going to come around where it is segmented, and I can go in and add a little flare to the segments. It actually is like a step. I have this line here, and this next line is going to be in a little bit further, and then it comes in and goes across, and it comes in a little bit further, and then it comes in and across and a little bit further. See the system? And then it comes in and across and a little bit further. Then it comes in and it comes across. And then there's some, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I miss one? 8, 9 right here. There. And there's the basic of it. Now, what I'll do is go in and work the wings a little bit. Now, these actually look like they have been outlined around it. Not so much here, but definitely in here and in here. I can see a light outline. It'll be okay to outline. Let's just do the contour line now. I'm going to go in, and I'm going to not bump all the way down. I'm just going to kind of float along and add the extra edge that I want to see. This one has like a little bump here, and it comes into this other wing. If you want, you can lightly draw it here where it overlaps. And now the other wing hooks down into this third spot right here where we decided it would go, and going to outline it and just slope it in around here, go round our oval and send it down like this. And then the other one comes up and it goes around this oval and it comes down like this. The other wing, this is hard to see because of this, the way that the shadow has, the sunlight has gone through the wings and it's made this shadow. It looks like a double image of the wings, so it does get a little tricky. And then it comes through like this. I think I want this a little higher on its back, and it'll crisscross here. And let's add the extra details. Now we have the markings on here. It looks like an oval here, so I'm going to put an oval, and then I'll have a little bit of a brown, kind of an ovally shape here, and this section of the wing right here kind of jig-jags, and then it comes down straight, and there's a little bump that actually goes where our oval was, and then back up right here, and that's a brown color. And then I think this actually goes a little bit higher, and then there's a little patch here, and this I think actually comes a little bit lower, and then there's a little patch here, and then this other wing comes in on top of it. I'm going to do one wing at a time. So this wing, I'm going to enlarge it so I can see the texture of it, because they're pretty remarkable. And if you want to go in and add a lot of detail, go right ahead and do it. I'm going to try to just give you the gist of it. This one section actually just looks like it's kind of hatched in there, and the lines are just broken apart like that. It's almost like a webbing. And then this one section, I'm going to go in and just add a little bit of the shadow in there to make a color. And if you wanted to use colored pencils for these parts, so go right in and do it if that's what you want to use. I'm just going to sketch it today. Now this one section has lines that come right up like this, and this is a darker section also. I'm going to go a little quicker now. These areas here they're closer together, so you can hatch closer together or color it. And these are a little further apart, so I'm going to go a little further apart with my hatching through here. And this part of the wing, this is very light and white, so I'm just going to go very light, like I'm breathing on there. I'm not going to go dark at all. Very light hatching. You may not be able to see it very well. And this section is also very light, so I'm going to just hatch it up like this. Actually, I think I'm seeing part of the shadow on that. I've drawn the shadow instead of the wing itself. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and make that a little more narrow. It's not overlapping the way that I thought it was. I'm going to come in and make both a little more narrow. Now I'm just going to come in and I'm going to make some letter J's going through here, and then make some more letter J's. This is kind of a fun way just to do some different kinds of shading, and then just a little bit of a shadow in here, and it's color. So when you're doing drawing, of course we don't have color, but we can change the intensity of the values so that you can see what it would look like if it was in black and white. And I could take this photo and actually make it into a black and white, which might make it easier to see. Now this wing, same thing, oval, where that one mark is on there, and then this side comes down a lot like that other wing that we did, and it comes long into here, down, and here back, and then it comes from the top and it curves and it kind of ripples down like this, and then joins on like that. So there's this wing, and this also has a similar kind of lines as the first wing we did. So by doing the first wing, we get a little bit of education on how we're going to do the next wing. So this has long lines going through like veins, and you can go ahead and put them in. You don't have to do every mark. I'm just trying to show you different ways of attacking it. This one side looks like it's kind of spider webbed out. It's not in rows. It was kind of a radial design there. So you could do X's through here, all kinds of different types of lines. So that's right in here. And this one area is shaded in, it's darker. There's that. And then on this side, there's this one line that's through here, and that's darker, so I'm making it darker. Kind of looks like it dripped through there. And this is going to come up, and I'm shading this in. This I'll just shade in to try to make it clearer to see. Sometimes to make something understandable, you have to simplify it. I like to get very detailed, and I think it's because I was a child that had to wear glasses, and I discovered I needed glasses when I was in 3rd grade. I didn't know that you could see the individual leaves on a tree. I just thought that trees were just gobs from a distance. I thought everybody saw the way that I did. This one section is a little lighter than this section, so now I'm going to press this a little bit harsher, and this section is light here, and it's going to come up, and it's kind of spider webbed out also. So I'm just going to add some lines in here like that. It almost looks like a Zentangle. That would be kind of cool to do a Zentangle on top of these wings. Now I'm going to this other side. These wings seem to be more simplified for me. I'm going to cut that off a little bit. This kind of comes in here like this, kind of a jig-jag. I'm just cutting them off. I don't think you can go wrong with any kind of a design that you do on these wings, because I think they're probably like us, where they look different no matter, whatever creature it is. It looks slightly different. So this one kind of has a jig-jag like that through here, and then jig-jags here. Now I'm going to make them larger so I can see. That's the beauty of the iPad, and especially with somebody who has eyesight like I do, you can make things larger. And if you wanted to, you can follow those lines that you see up through the wing and have some fun with that, as long as it doesn't make you crazy. Don't go so to perfection that you feel like you want to take a tracing of it. If you want to trace, have at it, but I think it's more of a challenge to actually look at something and draw it. And don't talk through the whole thing like I am. If you can get quiet, get in a place where you can concentrate, your drawings will be so much better. And this one, to my defense, would be so much better if I could just simply be quiet. So I'm not adding the shadow, I'm just going to leave it alone, and I'm going to spider web it out, putting in some of these lines. I'm going to put another line inside of here. It's just a bunch of hatch lines, and this is really for fun. This is just something that we're doing. It's something that I noticed and I wanted to share with you. Sometimes all of these veins get overwhelming, so just put in the gist of them. You don't have to put all of them in. I am, just for the sake of doing it, just for fun. You could just put in the different color tones. You don't have to put in all of these lines, and I haven't put all of them in either. They're just some. And this side is going to come out and it's going to loop. And this is a time when I would really like my pencil sharper. I just sharpened it, but I tend to press pretty hard anyway when I'm trying to show you what I'm doing. Now these eyes should be a little bit further. This eye should be further over here. And this body for this little dragonfly needs to be quite dark. The lower half of it is lighter. From here down is pretty light. I want to make that body a little bit wider. Now I'm going to just do some jig-jagged lines for its back. This is the hair that appears to be on the back of this little dragonfly. And it's not all completely black. I can see just where the hair is darkest, and that's what I'm going to put in. The rest I'm going to pretty much leave alone. I'm going to make this a little darker in here and this a little darker in here, the way it looks on my picture. I'm going to make the head dark. It looks like he's wearing some sunglasses, and there's a couple of white spots in there that I'm going to leave white. Just I made a little circle, and I'm going to leave that area white. Hopefully it'll show. And then the other little spot I'll leave white. That's just where it's a highlight. It looks like he's got eyes looking at us, but it's just a highlight. So there's the head, and I don't know if that'd be the mouth or the nose, something like that. And the legs are actually quite dark. Now the trick with the dragonfly is that sometimes they look a little cockeyed and cattywampus, and this is something that happens a lot drawing a dragonfly, so give yourself a little grace. I'm going to stand up now and just try to throw in a shadow for you. I'm going to look at where I can see the shadow, and I'm just going to add a little darkness where it is. I'm not going to worry about the fact that the whole shadow is translucent under it. I'm going to simplify it here. This would be the one part of the shadow here, and the other part would be right in here. And you see a shadow from under the head. Not as much of a shadow under here, under this side that I can see, but I want to make that tail a little longer. This body has to go a little darker. I'm going to squint my eyes at it now and see what's making sense and what isn't making sense. I think I would like to extend this wing out into this other wing a little further, and I might even want to make it a little longer, and that's what's so cool about all of those veins in there. If you add an extra line, it's not going to be detrimental. It's not going to look stupid, even if you don't have an eraser. So it's not a problem. And where these overlap, you can see it a little darker. These we decided didn't overlap, but there is a shadow under there. So that, we could put a little shadow here too. And if you wanted to, you could use your sandpaper like we did the last time, and you could put it under here to make that rock. He's sitting, I don't know if it's a he, it could be a she, on a rock, and I'm just having it sit there. Or you could remove the shadow completely and leave it flying in the air. But right here has a little bit of shade on the body too. I'm going to make the body darker on the edge where you kind of see that, where the body edge is, where the shadow is connecting is darkest right there. So this is the gist of drawing a dragonfly, one of my favorite creatures. I still want to do a little more to the body. I might put another foot there and make his head a little bit further out. And I hope today you notice something in the world around you, and I hope you find a little time to draw it. Thank you for drawing with me, and keep on drawing.